Untreated heartburn or acid reflux can lead to cancer, which is pretty crazy. If you want a way to force your body to permanently stop acid reflux and heartburn in 48 hours, click the link in the description below. For now, let's get to today's question.
The question, is getting rid of acid reflux temporary? Answer by Rory Malone. Getting rid of acid reflux disease, or GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, is about changing your lifestyle and eating habits. Medication can only get rid of acid reflux for so long before you start to gain a resistance to the medication. A few different things can cause acid reflux, but usually the blame can be laid at the feet of stress and bad eating choices. Stress causes reactions, such as the increase in the acids that then travel up the esophagus. Video. Heartburn no more. TM. Acid reflux as a disease is caused by a fairly simple process of your body whereby excess acids are regurgitated up into the esophagus, and sometimes even into the sinuses, where the corrosive properties of the stomach acids cause irritation and inflammation. These things are the causes of the symptoms that go with GERD. Changing your diet is the most effective way to get rid of acid reflux. Most physicians will tell you to limit your consumption of these key food groups: citrus fruits, oranges, lemons, limes, chocolate, caffeinated drinks, fatty foods or deep-fried foods, garlic, onions, spicy foods like Korean hot wings, and any kind of tomato-based food, pizza, spaghetti, ravioli, the entirety of your favorite Italian diner's menu, etc. As a rule of thumb, leave those foods out that have caused you discomfort in the past, and eat those foods that you know you can tolerate. Eating smaller meals will help you get rid of acid reflux. Your esophagus, the length of tube that runs between your stomach and your mouth, has a piece of equipment near your stomach called the lower esophageal sphincter. If this lower esophageal sphincter doesn't eat properly, acid can get up into your esophagus and wreak all kinds of havoc on those sensitive tissues. Eating larger meals makes it hard for your lid to close properly. Consequently, and we don't need a scientist to lead us to this conclusion, you get more acid reflux. Drinking alcohol is against the rules if you're suffering from acid reflux. If you don't know how bad alcohol is for you already, then you must be living in denial. Alcohol can cause all sorts of irritation of bodily tissues like those lining the esophagus, the stomach, your pancreas, your upper intestines, your liver, and your kidneys, not to mention your brain after a few drinks. Alcohol is out of the question if you want to get rid of acid reflux. Keep your head and chest elevated while you sleep to prevent acid reflux. You can help prevent acid from getting regurgitated by using gravity to your benefit. Keeping your head and chest elevated creates an incline, thus making it harder for liquids and acidic fluid to make its way up into your esophagus. I always sleep at a slight incline with 2 or 3 pillows to help support my neck and back to help avoid the burn after a spicy meal. There are all sorts of acid reflux medications on the market today. It's just a matter of choosing one. I think perhaps if I was going to recommend a particular medication, it would have to be Prilosec. Prilosec is an over-the-counter acid reflux and heartburn medication known as a proton pump inhibitor. Proton pump inhibitors work by blocking your body's natural ability to produce gastric acid. Unlike other medications and heartburn relievers like Tums, Zantac, and Pepto-Bismol, proton pump inhibitors provide a long-lasting treatment for acid reflux. Those other medications simply provide temporary relief by either neutralizing the existing acids in your stomach, or by activating inferior acid production blocking processes. Proton pump inhibitors generally take 23 days to start working, but once you work up the proper content of the drug in your blood, they tend to be far more effective at relieving pain and other symptoms associated with acid reflux. They are perhaps the only medicine that can be considered a long-term solution to getting rid of acid reflux. PPIs, like Prilosec OTC, which you can order in 42-count package from Amazon, block acid for longer periods of time than H2 blockers and promote the healing of inflammation. Chamomile tea. This is efficacious if you are drinking at least 4 cups a day. It helps settle down the old tummy, and also increases your water intake to tamp down on the old acid reflux. You can try any type you'd like. Would recommend, though, Dazo chamomile tea, which you can find at Amazon. Answer by Rajinder Bala. No. You get permanent relief from GERD and all related issues in 7 days. Curing acidity, GERD. I had kidney stones every year for 3 years. Luckily these were small stones and I went to doctors in time. Every year the stones were removed by taking medicines, through urine. This was quite shocking. I was an all-rounder. I was a sports person who would love to play any game that was going around. Sports was my first love. After first year kidney stone, I took special care to drink enough water. But in spite of that, I developed kidney stones. I was confused. I was worried. Around this time, I suffered from acidity. I could hardly eat anything. Even if I drank water, I felt that I was full up till my throat. I could not tolerate any spices or oily food. I took antacids, injections, medicines. I took a lot of care in deciding what I should eat. Nothing worked. Every passing day the things were getting worse. There was no improvement. I stopped taking interest in business. I started studying health-related matters on internet. I was shocked to find that there was no cure for any ailment. All my life I used to believe that doctors can cure any disease. Now it was only health and nothing else. I thought if I am healthy, I can earn money for 3,040 more years. Otherwise I will end up spending all money on doctors and hospitals. That was a wise decision. Today I'm 100% fit. No health issues. I can work for 16 to 20 hours a day. I did not spend any money on my treatment. To cut a long story short, I experimented on hydration, dehydration cycles to cure every disease. I found that dehydration is equally important along with hydration. If anyone wants to get 100% relief from acidity without any medicine in 48 hours. Day 1. Drink 100,200 milliliters, depending on age and weight of the person, water every hour from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Day 2. Do not drink any fluids as much as possible. If you find it difficult to stay without water and other fluids for 36 hours at a stretch, minimize your water and other fluid intake on this day. You may not get 100% relief in 48 hours, but repeating day 1 and day 2 for 45 times will give 100% relief. Thereafter every month repeat day 1 and day 2. As things progress, you may repeat day 1 and day every time there is change in the temperature of more than 10 degrees centigrade. An interesting story. I was discussing my experiences of hydration/dehydration with a group of yoga instructors. During the course of discussions, the yoga instructors mentioned that they suffer from acidity in a big way. I was surprised. I could not answer. But I kept looking for an answer. Later I found an answer to the acidity problem of yoga instructors. During yoga, breathing exercises are done. During these breathing exercises, CO2 is exhaled. CO2 is slightly acidic. When a person starts yoga, he feels overall improvement. Most of the well-to-do people have acidic buildup in their body. By doing breathing exercises, the acid load of the body starts reducing. In few months the person recovers from acidic body. Now his body becomes too alkaline. The acidity problem is faced when there is acid buildup or alkaline buildup. Later I asked the yoga instructor to stop drinking water for 36 hours. I also suggested him to stop yoga for 7 days. After 36 hours he was completely cured of his acidity. To me, cure means no restrictions of meals. Once a person is cured of acidity, he can eat any oily thing in any quantity. Not that I recommend such poor choices of food, but that is the meaning of cure to me. And one must indulge in such things once in a while. Answer by Sudhir Reddy. Permanent cure may or may not be possible depending on what the underlying cause is. However, reversal and reduction in symptoms is certainly possible. You may have been put on medication like ranitidine or PPIs already. For some people, medication can completely halt acid reflux symptoms with a few weeks of use. For many others like me, years of PPI use can lead to body developing resistance to medication, simply producing more acid to compensate for the suppression of acid caused by PPIs. At this stage, medication is no longer adequate to get relief from symptoms. Food and lifestyle changes are recommended. After suffering from GERD nonstop for nearly 2 years, with the help of a nutritionist, an Ayurvedic doctor and some common sense, I was able to cut down on medication and reduce symptoms by 7,080%. My full story is here. The following tips may help. Since I'm on this journey myself, I can only empathize with all the pain and disruption to life that acid reflux causes. Hope you find soon the relief you are looking for.